Be Sure to Cook. Today we're going to be doing meatball subs. We're going to do everything homemade. And I'm going to add a little Creole seasoning inside of there. It's going to give this a great stir. That guys, I am good to go. I hear you. Yes. Oh my God, that is wonderful. So that was about 4 to 5. I'm back. Bye. Welcome back to another episode of Be Sure to Cook. Today we're making some General Tso's chicken wings. So stay tuned and let's do this. You can use any chicken wings you like, any brand that you like. I've already got my chicken wings and I've already rinsed them and I'm having them prepared so we can season them. So what we're going to do is we're going to season it with some onion powder and some garlic powder. So what we're going to do is you can put as much as onion and garlic powder on that you like, and they're going to be raw. So I'm going to add on a little bit of garlic powder on here. And this is about maybe a half teaspoon of garlic powder for me. You don't have to use it if you don't want to. But for my recipe, and a half teaspoon of garlic powder on here also. So you're going to do both. And then you're going to just mix these chicken wings up. Make sure they get nice and covered well with both of those. So since I'm going to be making the General Tso sauce homemade, we're just going to put these chicken wings in a plastic bag like this. And we're going to put these in a refrigerator and let them marinate it with all that season. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fold my chicken wings because I want them to marinate. I want to go ahead and have them to marinate after you season these up really good. And if I was used to this, we're going to fry these. I wouldn't add any extra season on them. If you don't happen to like garlic powder, disregard that, or onion powder. Just use a regular old, just use some salt. But what I'm going to do is I call them wing folds. I'm going to wing fold these. Sometimes you get a bad wing where it just won't fold, but you can kind of make it fold. If it doesn't, that's okay. And if you don't even like folding these wings, you can always cut off these end parts and you don't have to fold them at all. You don't have to use these at all. But I kind of just like like somebody already did that for me, so I don't need to do that one. So I've got about 8 wings, and I'm going to reduce all this fat off here too when I get ready to cook those. So I will not be frying those with that big hunk of fat over. You know what? Let me go ahead and take that fat off now. If you do happen to like parts of your wings that have the extra skin or fat on, feel free to leave that on. But you know me, I'm not a fat girl and I don't like skin and I don't like fat. So I'm just going to go ahead and get my scissors and I'm going to cut these off and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. Okay, you don't want to fry any of this stuff. So I'm just going to disregard that and any of my wings. So I'm looking at them and see all that fat there. I don't like that, but if you do, you leave it there. That's cool. You can. You look at your wings. I don't like all that extra fatty skin. I want a wing. I don't want fat and that skin that I don't need. But like I said, if you happen to like that type of stuff, go ahead. Leave that on. So I'm cutting this off. We're going to fold these. All we're going to do is just stick this in a bag. This is a freezer bag, but you can use any kind of little bag that you can fold up. I only use a freezer bag because it's got the zip locks to it and I like it. So I'm going to take all the air out there and I'm going to refrigerate these wings for I'm going to do it overnight. So I'm going to come back and we're going to make our General Tso sauce. We're going to cook these wings up. Oh, and you're going to enjoy this. It's going to be so good. So just put these in a Ziploc bag like I did. Here they are. I'm just going to open this up and I'm going to fold these and I'm going to throw each wing in a bag and I'm going to put it in here for about 24 hours. If you're in a rush and you do have a party and you want to make these, at least get them in the refrigerator for at least 2 to 3 hours before you start cooking for your party. If you have a party that you're getting ready to do, go for the next day. That's great for you to do that. And here we go. And these go in the refrigerator And I'm going to do it for overnight. You can do it in a couple hours or overnight too. Okay, I have my garlic and I have my ginger, and I'm going to wash, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to chop this up. Okay, so here is, I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to slice very thin my ginger. Then I'm going to just chop this up. But if you want to, you can just put this in a food processor and chop that up. I just happen to like to use knives. I like it cut thin. I do, and I like to do it. I like to do everything by hand because I'm used to it. When you know, I started cooking when I was young, I didn't have all those gadgets. I was a little young girl, and of course my mother wasn't going to go out and buy real expensive little gadgets for me because, you know, I just was, you know, cooking, or, you know, and I started as a young girl cooking. And then I see all these young kids that are on these shows cooking. Oh, I'm so proud of them. 7, 8 years old. That was me. I was 6 when I started cooking, and I love it. And when I see these young kids, oh my God, they cook good stuff. I mean, they cooking gourmet stuff. And I think I could have been there if, you know, if they had that type of stuff back there when I was little. Back then, they didn't want any young kids by fars or anything. But I was doing it. I'm just going to chop this up because I want it chopped up really, really good because this is going to be in the sauce. And, you know, nobody wants a big hunk of ginger, you know, because it can be overwhelming, you know what I'm saying? But it smells so good. It makes your food taste so good. So I'm just going to chop this up nice and fine. Do it like, and I'm going to probably chop it where I can get like 3 tablespoons or 2 tablespoons of it. Okay, so I need a whole teaspoon actually. I know I was going to come out with probably about 2 or 3 teaspoons of this. And you just want to take it, and I want to get as much as I can. I want to make sure it comes out even. See, that's just a little bit too much I chopped. So actually, I didn't need all of that. You know, if you want to put a little extra in here, put a little extra, give it a little kick, you know. Okay. And that totals up to be a whole teaspoon. I'm going to do the garlic the same way. And the garlic, I'm going to need a little bit lesser than that. I'm going to need a ½ teaspoon of garlic. So let's, since they're going to be in the same category. And I'm just going to put these all together because this is going to go into the sauce all at one time. I'm just going to chop here, and I'm just going to do the same thing, chopping it really, really thin, not trying to chop off my hand here. Okay, this is what the garlic looks like, little fine chops. And like I said, I need 1/2 teaspoon of garlic, and that is great. That is going, and it's having it. Yes. Oh, this is going to be some good sauce. Okay, so I got my garlic, and I got my ginger and garlic in one bowl. Okay, so let's go. Let's get the rest of the stuff. Let's clean up. Okay, I got some green onions. I'm going to go ahead and start washing these green onions, cleaning them up, and we're going to come back and we're going to chop them up real thin. Okay, and these tips here are going to get cut off and discarded. You don't need these tips. You don't need any of that. And then the tops, I discard those too and make it even from where I cut. There you go. And then all I'm going to do is gather these onions up, and then I'm just going to slice, make it even, get rid of the first ones again. That's just me. Now they're great to go. I'm just going to chop this up. And you want these kind of thin. Yeah. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and keep cutting these until we get to the end. And then you'll see I mix them up and we'll put these to the side. I've got a nice pot here, and we're going to start putting our ingredients in, and we're going to start cooking it. Okay, we're going to start off first with 3/4 cups of chicken broth. Now you can do your homemade chicken broth, or you can get store-bought chicken broth. It depends on you. Right now I'm using a low sodium chicken broth, and I want you to use that, or you can use a high, but it's just going to be salt in here. So get a low sodium chicken broth. You want 3/4 cup. Okay, rice wine vinegar, 3 teaspoons. 1, 2, 3 of rice wine vinegar. We need a low sodium soy sauce. This is why I told you earlier that you don't want to use, you want to use a low sodium also. We're going to use 1/4 cup of low sodium soy sauce. Now 1/4 cup is a big cup, you know? So that's a lot of salt. But if you use low sodium, it's not that much salt. So, okay, there we go on that one. You're going to use a hoisin sauce. So I'm letting you see it so you know. Hoisin sauce, we need 2 tablespoons of hoisin sauce. So I've got my whole tablespoon here, and I'm going to pull out my hoisin sauce. And make sure you get, I'm like greedy, so I need to make sure I get all of that. So get your spatula and make sure you get all of that because that is your tablespoons. Okay, this is 3 tablespoons of white sugar. 3 tablespoons of brown sugar. I've got 1 teaspoon of ginger and I got a 1/2 teaspoon of garlic. They're both together. You remember I put those in there. And like I said, I'm greedy. I need all of this in because that is your teaspoons. Alrighty. Alrighty, guys. I got 1/4 teaspoon of hot pepper flakes. And if you like it a little hotter, you know, add a little bit more. Add as much as you want when you taste it. You want to taste this stuff when it starts getting together. Then after we add the red pepper flakes, we're going to add 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. So you want to get a good cornstarch. You know, 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. And then there you go. Then we're going to mix all this up together and dissolve all this. We're going to put this on a medium heat and let it come up to a boil until it gets nice and thick. Okay, now I got this, my heat up, and I've got it on like a medium heat, and I'm stirring this slowly. I don't want any lumps. But don't forget, this cornstarch is going to thicken this up. And you want to make sure you cook this and get this nice and hot and thick. And then we're gonna apply it to now we're gonna get our chicken together because we're gonna apply this onto our wings. Okay, I'm doing a 1/2 cup of all-purpose flour into a bowl. I like that 1/2 cup. Alrighty, and then I'm also gonna do about 3 tablespoons, helping tablespoons. That means it's more than, you know, a little bit over the top of cornstarch. Make sure it's helping. All right. Then I'm going to add half tablespoon of onion powder and a 1/2 tablespoon of garlic powder. You know, the same. Okay. There you go, guys. I'm going to mix this flour up. Okay, this is for our wings. And the only reason why I put that in there because the wings are going to be covered up and I still want them to hold that flavor. They've been soaking for 24 hours. Well, marinating in a season that I put on there for 24 hours. Okay, these I just took out of the refrigerator and I have my mix, my batter here that I'm going to do. I'm calling it a batter, but actually it's just a dry batter. And let's go ahead and flour these up and let's throw them in our hot oil. So come on over. Now I got my chicken grease. I'm going to try it. How you do it is you take some flour, hit your flour, and if you see it do that, then it is ready to go. So we got our chicken. We're going to take a couple pieces of chicken and we're going to batter this chicken up. We really don't want to have a lot of batter on there, so we're going to take it and we're going to beat it down. We're going to make sure we're going to hit it on it so it can, the flour we don't get a lot of flour mix. We're going to start putting it on there. We don't want a lot of flour mix on it. And I say we'll do about, I've got 8 pieces of chicken. So we'll just flour them up here. That cornstarch batter. Just dropping them in there. Okay, we're cooking down on low. We're cooking down and we've been cooking this for about 15 minutes. I turned it up a little bit on medium high. And I'm going to turn it down on regular medium here because I want it to cook. So I'm going to turn this down on medium. It's on a medium high because I wanted to get it going. And if you have a gas stove, just keep it on low. A low simmer burn, and that should do it. Until you start seeing it get nice and bubbling and thick. But you can see it starting to boil there. Yeah. That's what we want. We want this nice and thick. Wings are floating. I gave them an extra couple minutes. I'm going to put these on my rack and I'm going to let these drain. Nice and crispy. Got a beautiful color. Okay, we got 4 more that's going in. Okay, these are our wings. And I have 8 pieces of wings here. But I'm just going to use 4 to 5 pieces. Then this is our sauce. It's nice and thick. You see that? I'm just going to pour that over here like so, just a little. And I'm going to flip these wings in a big bowl. And then make sure they're tossed really good, which I'm old school. I'm just going to toss them like so. Get them covered. Oh, these smell and look so delicious. And here we have it. Okay, so I cover the wings. I'm just going to lay these wings down with this wonderful sauce. Oops. Okay. General Tso chicken. Our General Tso's chicken, and we did it the old-fashioned way. And I'm going to add a little green onions on top of this, because green onions make it look so good. Okay, there you go. General Tso's chicken. I hope you like this recipe. I hope you try it. General Tso's chicken, the original General Tso's chicken. Come back and enjoy us, and we'll make other videos. Hey, you and me did this. You and me, we made this. Please share, like, and subscribe on my YouTube channel. Hey, see you next time. Bye.